At the end of the day, though, there's good news. Even if you suck, because you're new or never paid attention or whatever the case may be, even if you freaking suck, you can get good. You can get really good. You know how? Don't tell anybody I told you this. All of us rich people, we don't want you rich. We want you broke. So, shh. You practice. Hey, thanks for having me. This is Driven 7. I've been here at every single one of them, so if you've been here before, you already know who the motherfucker I am. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Brad Lee. I have several companies. I have social media following now, just basically known for keeping it real. So here's my question. Who wants to make 2024 their best year ever? Let me hear it. All right, let me see who's serious. Stand up and let me hear this shit. Who wants to make their best year ever? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Allow me, if you will, to just speak from the heart. If you guys have seen me before, you know I don't have PowerPoints and a bunch of dipshit slides and, all I do is talk to you. Why? Because what I do when I'm back there is think, what could I say that would bring them the most value, the most impact? And I usually have to talk to a few people to find out what that is. Plus, I can't screw it up. So, it's almost impossible for me to come out here and screw shit up, but I can come out here and sound stupid as hell. But I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that. First thing, I'm going to speak from the heart. Fair enough? So I don't, all right, listen, you got to pay attention. Some of you guys in this room, matter of fact, a lot of you guys in this room, believe it or not, aren't going to make it. You're just not. The reason you won't, damn, that's what I'm talking about. The reason you won't is because of three things. You don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right skill set, or you don't have the right habits. And that's as hard as it is. Now, a lot of people will try to make it a little bit more difficult. There's people in the room right now thinking, Brad, it's not that simple. And I would say, well, that's your mindset. See what I'm saying? Like, you're already proving me correct. If you're already thinking it's not that simple, dude, ma'am, you're full of shit. It is this simple. I dropped out of high school at 16 years old. There's no way in hell I should be successful. I shouldn't be a multimillionaire. I shouldn't have multiple companies. I shouldn't be able to start companies like they're going out of style. How do I do it? I got the right mindset, I got the right skill set, and I got the right habits. That's it. And the reason a lot of you aren't going to make it in the room is because you don't have those three things. So I want to help you develop those three things so you can go out there and kick ass and make 2024 your best year ever. Fair enough? Obviously, mindset, folks, it goes without saying. Mindset is your beliefs. It's your belief system. What do you believe? Like right now, if you're thinking, well, it's not that easy, Brad. It's easy for you to say, Brad, this is just your mindset. It's because you don't believe shit. How do you change what you believe? Anybody know? No. You change what you believe by getting new information. You got to get new information. That's the hack. That's the secret. That's what nobody wants to say, but it's the truth. Read, folks. Read. Read something every single day. Read books. And I ain't talking about reading a shampoo bottle while you're taking a shit. Okay, I'm talking about read some books. Okay, How to Win Friends, Influence People. If you're in the room, you don't know how to, if you haven't read that book at least 5 times, again, then you don't really want to win, do you? You don't really want to win. I don't want to read it 5 times, Brad. Well, then go fuck yourself. I always learned something when I was growing up. If they're not listening, stop talking. And I can always tell when people aren't listening because they're not doing what I'm saying to do. I've had 1 million people ask me 1 million questions, and some of them take action. Albert's one of them. Like, Albert wanted to get on stages. He saw me on stage, 10X stage, and he comes up, how do I get on stage? How do I be a speaker? How can you get me on that stage? Can you talk to Grant and get me on the stage? And I said, no. Grant wasn't going to put him on that stage. So what did I say? I said, go start your fucking own stage, Albert. So technically, you might think Albert and Sylvia started Driven, but I fucking started Driven. I started Driven. That's why I've been here all 7 years. No, but the mindset that most people develop is from our childhood, okay? We get told some things, we start to believe some things, self-limiting things, things that aren't very freaking true, but we still believe them, and when you believe them, that starts to form your mindset, your belief system. And your belief system is why a lot of you are going to be held back, okay? So to change your mindset, you just have to get new information. New information, you will change your beliefs. You have to change your beliefs in order to change your actions. What you have right now is based on what you've done so far. The reason you have what you have is because you've done what you've done. The reason you've done what you've done is because you believe what you believe. So the only way to change what you believe so you can change what you do, so you can change what you're getting, is to get new information. Like if you raise a child, anybody have a brand new baby? I have a brand new baby. I'm teaching them. I'm just going to prove my point with my little girl. She's 20 months old. Her name's Chloe. I'm teaching her that fire doesn't burn. And one day she's going to believe me. And she's going to stick her hand in the fire and she's going to get some new information. Hey, and that new information, no, she will. That new information is going to get her to stop believing her own dad. Okay? New beliefs come from new information. If you don't get any new information, folks, you'll never, ever, ever, ever change. And believe it or not, that's what you have to do, man. You have to change. You have to change who you are. You have to change who you're like, literally people say, I want to make, this much money. Okay. What type of person is going to make that much money? You have to change who you are, right? You have to become the person that makes that much money. You want to sell 1 million homes, you have to become the person that sells 1 million homes. And what's crazy with that is you have to be before you become. You have to be it. So change your mindset. Okay, your skill set, it goes without saying. Okay, some of you suck. You do. Okay, and with the sour look on your face, I can identify you. So if you're looking at me like, fuck you, it's you, motherfucker, that sucks. Okay, don't be mad at me, dude. I didn't cause it. At the end of the day, though, there's good news. Even if you suck, because you're new or never paid attention or whatever the case may be, even if you freaking suck, you can get good. You can get really good. You know how? Don't tell anybody I told you this. All of us rich people, we don't want you rich. We want you broke. So, shh. You practice. You fucking practice. Is that rocket science, kids? You practice over and over and over. It's like wiping your ass with a hula hoop. The shit never ends. Practice and training is something you do, not something you did. It's over and over and over and over and over. Some of the best people in the world at anything, trust me when I tell you this, have lost and failed more than anybody else. Michael Jordan has missed more free throws than I ever have. See what I'm saying? Practice, practice, practice. Anyone can get good. I don't care if you're freaking short, tall, black, white, male, female, doesn't matter. Anybody can get good just simply by practicing, drilling, rehearsing over and over and over. And then the third one was habits, your habits. Folks, look at your habits and you'll more than likely see the problem. What are your habits? What do you do when you get up? What do you eat? Where do you go? Who do you talk to? What do you listen to? What do you allow into your head? I mean, you got to pay attention. Life is not difficult. They'll try to tell you shit, man. They'll try to tell you life is difficult. Don't listen. Life is not difficult. Oh, life's hard, Brad. Life is what you make it, folks. I'm telling you, life is what you make it. Life is fucking easy for me. Real easy. And I like it that way. People say, no, you want to make it tough on yourself. Well, only if you're an idiot. Okay, there's some people out there that believe you have to go through these challenges. I believe challenges and difficulty do strengthen you, but you don't necessarily go look them up and find them. They're going to find you. I'm sure if a lot of you guys are in real estate and mortgages, it's already found you. Oh, like you don't even have to look. It's right in your face. Okay, look, sourpuss motherfuckers, I can see you. Don't be mad at me. I didn't raise interest rates. Be mad at that dipshit Biden. You voted for him. Whoever voted, and by the way, dude, seriously, on a serious note, if you're in this room and you voted for Biden, don't you feel like a dumb fuck now? Holy shit. So you got to understand, the reason most people aren't going to make it, and I heard a lot of you guys screaming, right? But I saw some of you guys stay seated. You weren't screaming. I'm not very excited about this shit. Who's this big ol' inspirational dickhead? I'm not gonna get excited. That looks stupid. Dude, you look fucking stupid. I'm serious. You wanna get excited. You have to get excited. Excitement sells. Enthusiasm sells. You have to be enthusiastic. You have to be freaking energetic. Your vibration has to be up here. You have to be different than everybody else. Go look up this word, allodoxophobia. You guys all have it. I have it. We all have it. I think I kind of got rid of mine, but they say we all have it to some degree. Allodoxophobia, it's the fear of other people's opinion. A lot of people in this room that weren't sitting up and screaming and looking like a dipshit, you have allodoxophobia, or you're just a depressed motherfucker. Either way, you're not gonna win, dude. I've never seen these people win. Hi, how you doing? How's things going? I've never seen any of those people win. I've never seen them win, okay? I've seen a lot of people that are winners and a lot of people that are succeeding, and I've never seen one that's a fucking depressed, lame, shitty attitude dickhead. Now, I've seen some pretty colorful people, you know, very interesting, not always my flavor, but they're always the kind that will frickin' stand up, be confident, be heard. This makes sense or no? Because again, when I said I want to speak from the heart, that's just for the girls that are in the room, so it makes us connect better. Really, it's like I don't speak from the heart. I'm just like telling you the truth, because the truth, folks, believe it or not, is much like poetry. Not everybody likes it. But in reality, it makes the biggest impact, the truth. And sometimes people get offended when you talk about the truth. And the truth is, you know, the truth. So if you guys want to win, you guys want to succeed, you guys were all hooting and hollering. Unfortunately, everybody that was screaming, guys, enthusiasm is not enough. There's three things that you need: mindset, skill set, and habits. Those three things, if you can master those three things, you're gonna fucking win. Positive beliefs, opportunities are everywhere. You have to be optimistic. I don't care the industry that you're in. There are realtors and mortgage brokers right now winning. Are there not? Okay, and so if you're like, oh, you know, the mortgage rates are stupid and everybody's stupid. Dude, I'm telling you guys right now, that's your mindset. That's your problem. You got to snap out of it. And if you're sitting here, because when I say that, I guarantee there's people in the room going, motherfucker, easy for him to say, he's rich, flies private, That's your mindset, guys. That's your mindset. It's not my mindset. I can't come and fucking, zap myself into your body and make you think differently, but that's your problem, and you will never succeed until you fix that problem. Your mindset. How do you fix the problem? You get new information because your belief system is fucking moldy. Somebody taught you some wrong shit. And later on, I'm going to talk to you about some shit we need to unlearn. But right now, trust me when I tell you, you need to change your mindset. You need to master that area. You need to be optimistic, not pessimistic. You need to believe in abundance, not scarcity. Okay, especially some of you guys that might be getting a little bit low on money. Dude, it gets scary when you're low on money. I've been low on money 1,000,000 times. Okay? I remember when my ex-wife was chasing me down the street for child support, not because she was hungry, but because she was a bitch. She was fine. She had a better job than I did. She was making more money than I was, but the judge said I had to give her fucking money and I didn't have any. So I told her, hey, I'll give it to you next month. She said, fuck you, give me my money. I said, well, I don't have it. I'm building a business, I don't have it. I really didn't have it or I would have gave it to her, but I'll get it to you next fucking month. So I get in my car and she fucking started chasing after me in her car with our little kids in the back, screaming, give me my fucking money. It was the craziest shit I've ever seen. So I pull into a police station thinking, she ain't gonna follow me there and scream and yell and act like a fucking weirdo. She pulled right in. And she was screaming and acting like a weirdo and the cop came out. She's like, excuse me, what's going on here? And I'm like, and she looked at her, motherfucker won't pay my fucking child support and bop-a-deep-a-deep-a-deep. You know the heads when they do that? So trust me, I've been without money. I know what being without money's like. I used to park my car away like 3 or 4 houses down, blocks down, just so it wouldn't get repoed. I've been broke. I've been homeless on the beach over here in Malibu. I've been down and out in Beverly Hills, if that's, you know, a saying around here. But guys, trust me when I tell you, man, you have to frickin' get your mindset into abundance. That was my problem. I didn't believe that there was all the money in the world out there. There is. Money is unlimited, man. There's only a limited amount of people that are willing to go get it. Okay? Your skill set, pick something. Have you ever met anybody that's the best in the world at something that doesn't make money? The best in the world at anything gets paid. Think about that. Have you guys ever heard of the rule of 100? The rule of 100 states that if you practice every single day anything for 100 days, you will be better than 95% of the world at that thing. But that takes discipline, that takes consistency, that takes what? Habits. Your good habits. That takes good habits, folks. So you got to look at your habits. What are your habits? What are you doing every day? Who are you talking to every day? What are you listening to every day? Because believe me, people, we can get in some bad habits. And I'm not saying you can't smoke weed and not succeed. Number one, it rhymes, and number two, I've proven that incorrect. Okay? You can smoke weed and still succeed. At least, well, let me just say, you can hear the weed smokers. I don't smoke weed anymore. I would say don't do it. But I did it. And I still succeeded. So when people tell you some bullshit, you know, you can't smoke weed and win, bullshit. Can't be an alcoholic and win, bullshit. You know, people think I'm joking, but I say I got 7 kids from 4 women. But I can explain. It's completely explainable. But those 3 things, mindset, skill set, habits, that's what you got to freaking focus on. Okay? You got to be focused. You got to get rid of all distractions. You got to keep shit simple. You got to quit thinking it's rocket science because it isn't. A lot of you guys are looking right past the answers. And what's funny is a lot of you guys are coming here for answers when, to be honest, you already got fucking answers, bitch. What you're looking for is easier answers. I don't like the fucking answers I got, so I'm going to go to Driven and see if they give me some easier shit to do. I don't know any easy shit to do. I wish I did. I'll be the first to tell you, if you're not following me on social media, you better be following me, because when I find the easy way to get rich, that's where I'll put it. So you better be following me right now. It's at The Real Brad Lee. Yeah, well, if you're not following me, you better get on it. Because I do drop some bombs on that shit. And I have a podcast, by the way, Dropping Bombs. That's why I call it Dropping Bombs. Because, dude, I've had people call me up and say, dude, your podcast has literally changed my life. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've done speeches where people say, dude, you've changed my life. I'm like, what do you mean? How am I changing a life? Like, that's pretty dramatic shit, don't you think? I said to one guy, I said, what did I say? He said, you walked out on 10X stage and you said, brush your teeth. Which I did. And the reason why is because I'm trying to tell these guys, you can't even brush your fucking teeth and you're trying to be rich. Like, dude, it's the details, it's the little things, it's the consistency, it's the habits. Brush your fucking teeth. Why? Because you don't want your breath to stink. Because half of you do. Couple of you did today. Who talked to me today? Look at them. I ain't saying who, but some of you guys ate a shit sandwich. And I'm acting like I'm listening, but I ain't listening. I'm hoping you'll shut the fuck up and walk away. And by the way, that's an opportunity. You're blowing an opportunity. Why? Because your fucking breath stinks. What a lame ass world this is. Life is hard. See what I'm saying? You're chasing away opportunities because your breath stinks, because your habits are fucked up and you didn't brush your teeth. Well, I brushed them. Well, then you didn't brush them enough. Okay, or go get one of these. They're only $3, $4. If you don't have $3 or $4, steal it. You won't get in trouble here in California. You won't. I want to move here because apparently you can walk into a store and as long as it's $9.50 or less, they won't do shit. A couple of ballsy security guards, stay away from the big security guards because they're looking for it. They'll try you, but the little ones, the old ones, they'll just watch you walk out up to $9.50. Don't do more than $9.50 though.
Hey, you want to spend an hour a week with me helping you become a business badass? Well, check out my group in the link below.
Okay? Or if you're looking for badass watches, figure out where Albert lives. Okay, so listen, we got to unlearn some shit though, for real. We got to unlearn some shit. There's too many people that have learned the wrong things. What do we need to unlearn? I'll give you some examples, okay? Who's heard fly under the radar? Anybody heard that before? Bullshit. Get on the fucking radar, okay? Keep quiet. Don't attract attention. Bullshit. Get attention. It took me 20 years to build my first company to an 8-figure company. 8 figures for some of you is 10 million or more. It took me 2 years to build 2 or 3 more with a personal brand, getting attention. Attention allowed me to build 2 or 3 multi-million-dollar companies in the last 2 years. I'm telling you, you want to get attention. But we've all heard, fly under the radar, don't get attention. What about don't talk to strangers? Who's heard that? Have you heard that? Bullshit. Talk to strangers. They're the ones with the fucking money. Okay, they always tell you where money doesn't grow on trees when technically, yes, it does because it's paper. But they don't tell you where it grows. Well, I'll tell you where it grows. It grows in other people's pockets. And in order to get in those pockets, you either have to be a friend, a relationship, or a rapist. And I do not recommend the latter. Okay, but you have to get in those pockets. How are you going to get in those pockets? You got to talk to them. You got to fucking talk to them. Half of you guys won't even meet everybody sitting next to you. You're waiting to meet me and the other speakers. Fuck, we probably ain't going to do shit for you. There's people sitting next to you that literally have a deal in their pocket for you and vice versa. But we don't spend all our time walking around and introducing ourselves. Okay, I always say the more hands you shake, the more money you make. That is a true statement, 1,000%. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. Don't make it harder than that. How many hands did you shake today? Who did you meet today? Did you build any relationships today? Yes or no? Well, I was getting a little busy and bullshit, rationalization, excuses. And again, I'm not a coach. I don't coach people because I ain't showing up at your house and holding you accountable. I say it more like I'm a consultant. I just give you the information. You got to do it. But the truth is if you don't have much money, it's because you don't know the right people. Because if you knew the right people, you'd have everything you wanted. So if you have everything you want in life right now, then you know enough people, I suppose. But if you're sitting there thinking, I don't have everything I want in my life, it's because you don't know the right people. So how do you meet people? Is that difficult? Is that rocket science? Huh? No, you fucking walk up to somebody and say, how you doing? Bradley, what's your name?
Agent Ubeda.
What is it?
Agent Ubeda.
What the fuck?
Thank you.
See how hard that was? I can walk around the room, introduce myself to every single one of you guys, and I'll bet you anything that there are deals all over this room for me, for you. You're just not looking for them. Why? Because we're taught to fly under the radar. What's another one? Don't talk to strangers. What's another one? I heard Albert say it earlier. Be humble. A couple people said, woo! Folks, don't listen to that shit. Okay? I'm telling you, you do not want to be humble. Yeah, it's in the Bible, Brad. Listen, if God comes down, be humble. God ain't here. Well, he is, but he isn't. None of you are God. I don't need to be humble to you. I need to do the opposite. I need to be confident. I need to value my importance. You guys, look up the word humble. Because this one really gets people, especially in the Latino, Hispanic, I was going to say market, but the Hispanic industry. And by the way, my grandmother's name is Celestina Jaramillo. So I'm brown, motherfuckers. And that would bother her when I would say that, because I would say it to her too. And the reason why is because I look up the definition of humble, and it says to have a low opinion of one's own importance. Yes, when you're freaking in the presence of God, not when you're in the presence of fucking Larry. You need to walk into the room like you own the bitch. You need to roll out like you sold it. Oh, that fucking guy is arrogant. Who gives a shit what they think? Who are they? See what I'm saying? You're so worried about everybody else's opinion because you don't value your own. I need you to validate me. So if you don't like me, fuck, I guess I'm stupid and I'm lame and nobody likes me. Oh, he doesn't say I'm going to succeed. Fuck, I guess I'm not going to succeed. That's what it is. You got to stop doing that shit. I'm not saying go out and be arrogant and be a dickhead, but don't be humble, okay? Be the opposite. And I'm just telling you what worked for me. I walk in and I act like I own the bitch, even if I don't. Okay? How many people have seen that before? That's right. See what I'm saying? Am I lying? Okay, so those are just some. How about work hard and never give up? That's all you got to do to win. Work hard. Folks, the hardest working motherfuckers in this world get paid the least. That's the truth. Do you know who's paying the hardest working motherfuckers? Ask yourself that question. Exactly. The rich motherfuckers like me. I'm paying motherfuckers. I don't want to do the hard goddamn work. That was a bullshit fucking lesson. They wanted to create workers. So they're like, all you got to do is work hard. Shit. You want to try not to work hard because the hardest workers make the least amount of money. Work smart. Put time in, but hard. Hard is like, back-breaking labor. You do not want to do that. Never give up. Some of you motherfuckers need to give up. I'm serious, especially in this market. Okay, real estate. Are you guys aware you can quit? Everybody's like, no, I was hot. I should never give up, so I'm going to fucking suck for another 2 years and go broke. Fucking quit. There's other shit to sell. Or be the best in the fucking business. One of the two. You can't be in the middle, man. You better fucking own that shit. You better own that shit or consider maybe quitting that shit. And it's not a bad thing. I've quit things before. Listen to this. Everyone told me to go get a real job. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get a real job. I go to the Forest Service and I get on with the fire crew. I lived in Oregon at the time. There was, forest fires up there every summer, forest fires, and you got to go put them out. So I apply for the job. They give me the job. Everybody thinks I'm cool. I'm running around town trying to get laid, telling all the ladies I'm going to be a firefighter. I pictured myself in a flannel shirt with an axe over my shoulder and a wolf by my side, fucking, walking around the mountains, fucking saving eagle eggs and shit. But that's not what happened. I show up and they give me this big rubber bag of water and they tell me to go fucking squirt the stumps that are smoldering. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm supposed to be a firefighter. What do you mean? He said, well, that is called a piss bag. And you're the piss bag operator. So hike up and down the mountains and look for stumps that are still smoldering so the actual firefighters don't have to come back here. Fair enough? I'm like, fuck, talk about deflating my ego. I'm like, oh, shit. I thought I was going to be saving eagle eggs, and now I can't even keep the squirrels off my honey buns. So I'm walking around getting ashes in my nose and my lungs and getting poked with sticks, and all of a sudden I start itching right here and I get a little patch of poison oak. So I go into the supervisor. I'm like, hey, dude, look, I'm not going to be able to come in. I got a patch of poison oak right there. And he said, he opens his shirt up and he's covered in it. And he says, bro, that's part of the job, man. I get the fuck out there and go to work. I'm like, what? Are you out of your fucking mind? Dude, I didn't buy that, okay? Okay? My grandpa, my whole blue-collar ass family was telling me, that's how you get her done, son. And if you work real hard, maybe someday you can be the foreman. You mean if I do real good, I can have it all over my body? Fuck you. And by the way, well, that's you shouldn't quit things. Fuck you. I quit that shit. I ain't doing that shit. That was hard work. I quit, said screw it. I go the next day, open up the newspaper, see a job for selling cars. I'm like, let's go try that. So I show up, I'm in a suit, I get to wear cologne, I'm all smooth like a motherfucker. I roll in, they walk up, they say, go pick out a car. I said, excuse me? They said, go pick out a car. When you work here selling cars, you get to drive one. I'm like home? Yeah, permanently until you sell it. I'm like, are you shitting me? They said, no. I said, even that one right there, and there was a Trans Am with T-tops. And they said, yeah, dude, just any car you want on the lot, you pick it up, you put a dealer plate on it, and that's your car. And I'm like, fuck yes. Like, dude, see, this wasn't rocket science. I wasn't a genius. I'm like, let me think. This is a hard one, dude. They want me to have poison oak and work my fucking ass off. They want me to have a Trans Am. Maybe I better ask my fucking blue-collar grandpa. And it said, well, you got to respect your grandpa. Dude, I respect my grandpa. He worked hard as a motherfucker. Matter of fact, he had logging accidents where, he started walking like this because it crushed his leg and all this other shit. Like, I respect the hell out of his hard-working ass. I ain't doing it, right? I ain't fucking doing it. I said, pass. Now, again, a lot of people gave me shit about it, which is where I started to lose my allodoxophobia. It's where I started to lose the opinion, worrying so much about everybody's opinion because everybody's opinion of me is I wasn't going to make it. I'm going to end up in jail, which I did, but that's a whole nother story. Point is, I didn't worry about what everybody else thought of me because I thought enough of me to get us by. See what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to wait for the applause or just keep talking. But at the end of the day, man, those are things that you just need to unlearn. It's like don't believe the shit you've been taught just because you've been taught it. You know? Question some shit. If you are so worried about everybody else's opinion because you don't have very much confidence, you can build your confidence really easily. Do the work. Win. Confidence is just the memory of winning. Win a lot. Do you know how you win a lot? Guess what you do? Huh? No. That's 2 wrong answers from you. And you also called me Grant earlier. Hey, listen. She walked up. She goes, "Can I talk to you for a minute for my fucking video thing?" I'm like, "Sure." She goes, "Okay, Grant." I said, "We're done." Listen. I was joking with you. Listen, I get accused of being Grant a lot. Okay, I guess we look similar. But I hung out with Grant a long time. Like Grant was a buddy of mine. Still technically is a buddy of mine. Not as good a buddy as Albert, though. But he's still a buddy of mine. He pays me more than Albert, though. But he's a buddy of mine. Now, I also had him start something called 10X. Like I literally, no shit, had him start that as well. Now, a lot of people think, oh, he's fucking so great. Well, listen, folks. Before I met him, they called him Cant Cardone. That's a dumb joke. No, I'm joking. But it was just funny that she called me Grant, because a lot of people do say, "Hey, oh my God, are you Mr. Grant Cardone?" I'm like, "No, sir. No, sir, I'm not." He's about that big and a lot older. But anyway, whatever. I'll take his money. He definitely rocking that department. But anyway, folks, listen. All the shit you hear sometimes is bullshit. What you need to realize that it's bullshit is, does it sit well with you? If it doesn't sit well with you, question it. A lot of people won't question it because of other people's opinion. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Somebody's telling you, get a real job. Haven't you tried this long enough? The market's shitty. And now you're worried because, oh my God, I might fail. I might look, so fucking what? You know how many times I've failed? You know how many times I've quit? Well, you can't quit. Fuck yeah, you can quit. And again, some of you should. Pick something else. You're not very good at what you're doing. You know how you can tell when you're not very good at what you're doing? That's right. See, this shit ain't rocket science. You ain't making no fucking money. If you ain't making no money, you're not that good. It ain't the market. The really good ones are making money in the market. Okay? You need to fucking make money. How do you make money? You get good. How do you get good? You practice. So now you got the mindset, now you got the skill set. The habits are very simple. You know how you develop habits? By doing shit consistently, over and over and over. Do you know how you do that? You choose to. You choose to. It's as simple as that. Quit making it more difficult. You're making the choice to be a lazy motherfucker. If you're a lazy one. If you're lazy. You're making the choice. And if you're like, "No, I'm not," that's rationalization. That's an excuse. That's a mindset issue. So I can always go to anybody and be like, boop, mindset. Oh, skill set. Oh, habits. Your mindset, your skill set, your habits. That's why you're losing. And by the way, that's why you're winning. Show me the winners. Mindset, skill set, habits. Their mindset, skill set, habits. That's all it is. Mindset, skill set, habits. What are the skill sets you need? Well, sales, communication, marketing, right? Relationships, developing relationships. People are like, "Brad, how do I develop a relationship?" Well, I'll tell you. First, you make an introduction, introduce yourself so they know who you are. They got to know who you are, correct? And then you bring value. You bring value. You know what value is, folks? What's value? Well, it depends, doesn't it? So people say, well, Brad, what value can I bring to you? Now, see what you just did? You just asked me for value. Yep, don't ask me for value, motherfucker. You want to make a relationship with me? Bring value. Don't ask for value. And people don't understand that they're asking for value. Hey, let me ask you a question. How can I serve you? Well, who taught you to say that? Because that's not what you say. Because now you got me thinking, and you got me giving you answers on how to serve me, which is valuable to you. What can you give me that's valuable? What's valuable? And by the way, who's ever heard, don't make assumptions? Anybody ever heard that? Or you make an ass out of you and me, because the way they spell assume. Never assume you'll make an ass out of you and me. No, folks, unlearn that shit. You should assume, okay? You can assume things. I assume shit all the time. Matter of fact, you should expect things. You should expect more. You should expect to be treated better. If you're in a shitty relationship, expect to be treated better. And when you don't get treated better, blow that motherfucker out. Why? Because you value yourself more now. You're not going to play in that stupid fucking arena. You can assume that there are other guys out there for you. You can assume that there's nicer girls out there for you. I've never, ever broke up with a girl and ended up with a worse one. Ever. I'm telling you. I mean, this is just the truth, folks. Some of you are all mad. There might be some people here like, you know, you got your girl doing whatever you tell them. You're like, shh, shh. But at the end of the day, it's all the truth, okay? Who's paying attention? Anybody? Because I want to make an impact. I want to make sure that somebody in this room, and I know there will be somebody in this room, and if there's only one, I'm happy, that will walk out of here and do some shit different. They will change. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So where was I? Let's see if you're paying attention. Huh? Bring value. See Albert? He says, you were talking about Albert. Talk about Albert again. Albert will come up here and talk about himself, then he'll be like, all right, enough about me. What do y'all think about me? No, you got to bring value, man. Or as Albert would call it, value. He mixes up his B's and his V's. Like he doesn't call an Uber, he calls an Uber. But anyway, you bring value. Bring it by assuming it. You can assume value. How many people here want more money? Look, there's an assumption. And who ain't raising their fucking hand? Holy shit, are you stupid? Folks, you got to unlearn that shit. You want more money. I'm telling you guys, I've been broke, I've been rich. Rich is better. And the gap is widening. The gap is widening. I'm telling you, dude, they don't want no middle-class motherfuckers. They want you broke, and they don't really want you rich, but they can't really stop you either. People say, well, Brad, what do you advise these guys to do? What do you advise the poor to do? The gap is widening. What should they do? And I say, jump. Jump and swim. It's not getting less. So you bring value, you make assumptions. People want more money. You can make that assumption. I know you want more money. You probably want more time. I know you probably want some attention. I know you probably want some freaking love from your family. I mean, like, you can make some assumptions. I don't have to call you and say, hey, how do I give you some value, brother? You can assume that they want more money. They want more time. They want more attention. Money, time, and attention. That's what people want. So when you think of me and you're thinking, okay, I want to make Brad a friend. See, Albert knew that. He said he gave me $50,000 to be my friend. And by the way, dude, that's expired. Okay? So I'm going to need another 50,000. And now it went up to 100 because now you're rich. When I met him, he wasn't rich. He thought he was, but we had to show him that he really wasn't. But at the end of the day, you can make those assumptions. So don't listen to this bullshit. Don't make assumptions. Make assumptions. Make assumptions. But that's how you build relationships, and you need relationships. Relationships are the only thing that matter. At the end of your life, when you're sitting in bed, you're not going to be worried about your cars and your money. I promise you that. You're going to be worried about relationships, the people in your life, the relationships, the people that you love. That's who you're going to be worried about when you're on a deathbed. You don't think about money at all. I went to one of these blind spot, it's called Blind Spot Medical. Dr. David Boyd. He'll appreciate me giving him a shout out. If anybody here's got money and you want to really fucking look mortality down the barrel, go to Dr. David Boyd with Blind Spot Medical. He looks through machines like you couldn't see all the way through, and it doesn't hurt, and it's quick, and it's easy, but he basically does shit they don't ever do to you. He also, I don't know if I want to say this, but turn the cameras off. No, just joking. Well, what he does is he makes sure that the insurance companies, because there's a scam going on with the whole healthcare shit, don't necessarily know that you're the one that did it. So if you have anything wrong, you can still run out and get yourself some insurance. And by the way, I have an insurance company, so if anybody needs insurance, but what you do is you go get this Blind Spot Medical, and basically he will tell you everything that's wrong with you if there's anything wrong with you. So I went and did this, right? And he came up to me and he said, everything's great, man. You look unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I can't even believe how great you look. You're like a fucking unbelievable thing. I'm like, woo, that's what I thought. This is awesome. So I walked around unbelievable. He calls me like 30 minutes later. He's like, Brad, listen, I took another look. I talked to my friend who's a cardiologist, and he agrees. I looked right past something. He says, your aorta is bigger than it should be. And I'm like, so is my dick. What's that got to do with anything? He said, well, if your aorta is too big, he says, if your aorta is too big, it could grow and grow and eventually burst. So we'd have to go in and do heart surgery. It's fatal if your aorta bursts, by the way. And I'm like, well, dude, this is fucking shitty. And as soon as he told me, dude, my fucking stomach dropped. And I'm telling you, my money didn't matter. Nothing mattered. All I cared about is my family. All I started thinking about is my people. So relationships matter. Don't get so in a tragic situation where you have to realize that. Realize that right now. So anyway, long story short, he's not a cardiologist. So I ran into a cardiologist, a famous cardiologist, as a matter of fact. He was on Sean Kelly's show. That's where I met him. Remember that guy? He says, fuck what the American Heart Association tells you. It's all a bunch of bullshit. He says, if you want to stay off the operating table, you need to eat a lot of red meat. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I like this guy. I like this guy already. You remember that guy? So, and I looked him up, and he's right. And I asked him, I said, well, listen, let me ask you something, doc, because I was told that I got like a big aorta. And he said, listen, people have all kinds of fucking aorta sizes, And I'm like, cool, are you shitting me? He goes, dude, it's nothing. He goes, here, you go back in 2 years. If it's bigger than it was, then we might have something to worry about. So just chill out, because more than likely, you were born with that size of aorta. Some people have big aortas. I got a big aorta. Some people don't have a big aorta. Now, but it triggered me to think, oh my God, I'm going to die. And so I actually had the experience that, hey man, I don't have long. And when I did, dude, nothing mattered financially. The only thing that mattered were relationships. So trust me, relationships is what matters most. But what matters more than relationships? Your health. Because without that, there are no relationships. So believe it or not, health is first. You guys should be focused on your health every single day. And if you're not, you're going to regret it someday, I promise you. Now, it doesn't mean you won't die anyway. Life's hard. But I would focus on your health. Then I would focus on your relationships. And then third, I would focus on your money. Because money matters. You can make a bigger impact when you have a lot of money. You can do bigger and better things when you have a lot of money. Some people believe that if you have money, you won't ever be a good person, and that's not true. If you're a good person without money, you're a better person with money. If you're a dick with money, you were a dick broke. Matter of fact, you're probably a bigger dick. So money is something that you want to focus on. Why? Well, because what we focus on grows. What we focus on grows. What you ignore kind of dies. It's a simple shit. Like, this isn't rocket science. This is what I mean when I said you guys already have answers, but you don't like those answers because they're not that comfortable and they're not that easy. So you come to places like this looking for other answers. How many people already know you should be working out every day? Raise your fucking hand. Okay, how come you don't all work out every day? You already know not to get fucking hammered, drunk, and drive. How many people get hammered, drunk, and drive? Don't fucking lie. Liars. Albert, put your fucking hand up. Sylvia, where's Sylvia? No, actually, they're rich now. They get driven now. That's how this whole thing was named, by the way. But in reality, it's not rocket science. You just have to pay attention and stop thinking, man, there's these big secret answers in the world. There isn't secret answers. There's answers that you already have, but you're not executing. And the lack of execution is the problem. If you don't do what I'm telling you to do, nothing's going to happen. You have to execute. Execution is the key, right? You have to execute. So, and how do you execute, by the way? You choose to. Discipline, which is really important for success, discipline, okay? You have to have discipline. You're not going to go anywhere without discipline. And what is discipline, really? Habits, consistency. It's doing the shit over and over and over, even though you don't want to, even though it's difficult, even though it's challenging. Who cares? So what? You looking for an easier way or something? Because I can't help you with that. I can just tell you the way. And the way is your habits will tell you your future. Look at your habits. Drop your bad habits. It's just a choice, you know? And go audit yourself, man. What kind of habits do you have? Where should you look? Who are you talking to? Who are you hanging around? Who are you hanging around? What kind of shit are you putting in your head? You realize what goes in your head grows. Just like the ground, you plant corn, corn comes up. You plant wheat, wheat comes up. If you planted wheat and expected apple trees, you're a fucking idiot. Right? What gets planted grows. So if you allow shit into your head, which is the most fertile ground you have, okay, a lot of you guys are in the real estate game. This is the real estate you want to own right here. Okay, with this real estate, you don't need any real estate. And by the way, everybody says real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. Good, guys, real estate's a tried and true investment over time. It's great. But do you know that there's other ways to get rich besides real estate? And by the way, I don't know if you guys have been told, but selling it ain't how you get rich. Keeping it is how you get rich. So you want to own it. You want to keep it. You don't want to sell it. So if you're selling it, do that so you can get the money to buy it and own it, because that's where the true wealth is, buying and owning real estate. Right? Because again, like, guys, I've had to sell cars. I don't advise go sell cars unless you don't have any money. You can make a lot of money selling cars. Go sell houses. Go sell mortgages, okay? If you're not very good at it, practice, drill, and rehearse. I can tell you exactly how to get anything you want in life. This is literally how easy it is. Number one, you figure out what it is. Now, a lot of people think that's the easy part. If I asked you guys, what do you want out of life? You're going to start rattling off. I want to be rich. I want to have a great family. I want to be fit. I want to have abs. You know, you'll tell me what it is, but you're just general. You have to really think about where you want to go in life and what it is that you actually want. Because a lot of times it's not what you think you want, but you haven't spent any time thinking about it. So step one is you figure out what it is. That's why when I start out my podcast, I say, what it is. Because you have to figure out what it is that you want. That's step one. Can't do anything without that. Step two is you figure out how to get it. Now, a lot of people go, well, that's the hard part. That's the easy part. You know how you get it? You find somebody who's already got it. How hard is that? Okay? You want to be a kick-ass real estate professional? Find kick-ass real estate professionals that are already kicking ass. You want to be the best at something? Find the best at it. And then the third thing is you do the work. That's it. You do the work. Now, again, a lot of people won't do the work. Why? They have no discipline. Why? I have no idea. Because they think that it's some sort of thing you buy at Walmart, and they were out when they were at Walmart. So I don't have any discipline. Guys, you don't develop discipline. You don't buy discipline. You don't create discipline. You choose discipline. You choose to do it. It's a choice. And the choices you make determine the roads you take. You know what I mean? So if you really want to make 2024 your best year ever, you've got the tools to do it, but you got to focus and get rid of all distractions. You have to focus, man. You have to keep your eyes on the path. You have to keep your eyes on the prize. You have to literally get rid of all the shit that's coming in your head. You got to look at your habits, look at your mindset, look at your skill set. If they're not right, get them right. But focus and then get rid of all the distractions. I remember a time, November 25th, 1976, I believe. Me and my dad are driving to the mall. I'm in the back seat, no seat belt. These are back in the good old days, man. You didn't have to wear a seat belt, okay? DUIs were a misdemeanor. This was back when only men had balls. It was a lovely time. But we're driving and we see a hotel. There's a big old crowd. My dad says, wonder what's going on. He pulls over, says, what's happening? The guy says, Elvis is in the building. He says, hey, you want to go meet Elvis? I said, well, hell yeah, I want to go meet Elvis. Let's go meet Elvis. Elvis, by the way, for some of you, he was like a celebrity guy, almost like a Justin Bieber, but bigger. So Elvis was in the building, and my dad, parks the car, and we go inside to meet Elvis. And there was ropes just like this, and there were security guards. Like if you look at the back of that door and you see a bunch of people and you see security guards and you see ropes, that's what my dad saw. And he said, oh shit, we can't go. I said, why not? He said, look, they're stopping everybody. And when I looked over, I didn't see them stopping everybody. I saw a fucking path right between the legs of everybody. I saw exactly where I wanted to go, and I didn't see anything else. And I walked over, and I'm like, boop, 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 right through the legs, right under the rope, right past the security guards, right up to the double doors. And as soon as I walked up, the doors opened, and there was fucking the king, Elvis Presley. And he said, how you doing, little man? And he patted me on the head, and he turned around and he walked off. And everybody freaked the fuck out. And his coolness transferred to me. It did. Hey, for like, I don't know, a week or so, everybody wanted to meet me. Everybody wanted to touch me. Even when I went back to the crowd, everybody was like, ah, they were freaking out like I was fucking Elvis. And I'm like, God damn, dude, I didn't. But I asked myself, I wonder why all those people that wanted to meet him didn't get to, and I did. And the answers I didn't ever get until like recently. I looked back and I'm like, I wonder why that was. And here's why it was. Because I wasn't focused on the obstacles. I wasn't focused on the challenges. I wasn't focused on the blocks. I was focused on the path. I was focused on the opportunity. I was focused on the goal. I was focused on the prize. All the shit you guys hear negative in the business, all the shit you guys hear negative about your everything, those are the challenges. Those are the red ropes. Those are the people. And guys, all you have to do is shift your perspective. It's perspective that matters. You can have a same situation, two different ways of looking at it, and I guarantee you it's the same situation, but yet you get a good and a bad out of it. I always tell a story about two kids, one rich kid, one poor kid. They stick the poor kid in a room full of shit. They stick the rich kid in a room full of shit. They come back in an hour, and the rich kid's all pissed off. They're like, what's the problem? He says, you put me in a room full of shit. They ask the poor kid's over there. He's happy, by the way. He's playing in it. He's fucking laughing. What are you doing? Why are you so happy? He says, with all the shit in here, there has to be a pony in here somewhere. So it's the same situation, but one kid's happy and one kid isn't. And that's perspective, and you have to have perspective. And that's what I think my advantage is. I think everything is opportunistic. I think everything is good. I think abundant. I don't worry about money. See, we start making money, right? Especially when we go from broke to making a little bit of money. And then we remember being broke. We don't want to be broke again. So what do? We start protecting that money a little bit more, and we start to hold on to it a little bit more. Why? Because we don't want to feel like that again, right? Because I've been told to save for a rainy day. What the fuck's wrong with a sunny day? So my question is, do we get this money? Do we get a little size going and then we stunt ourselves because we don't want to use the money anymore because we're afraid to go back to nothing? That's scarcity. You have scarcity. Just identify it because that's what it is. You're afraid now. You weren't afraid when you had nothing because you fucking had nothing to lose. Now you got something to lose, so you're all afraid, and that's why you're not going anywhere. That's why you reached a certain level and stopped, because you're not using your money. Your money is a tool to be used to get more money. That's all it is. Money is a tool to get more money. And if you use your money, you will get more money. And yes, you might lose some money. Who cares? You ever notice that rich people lose money all the time and poor people never want to lose anything? Folks, use your money. It's a tool. Don't be afraid. You want something in life? Fucking figure out what it is. Find someone who's already got it. And then do the fucking work. So if you guys are right now thinking, I want this. Well, folks, figure out who's done it. Figure out who's got it. Join a fucking mastermind. Join a fucking group. Hire a fucking coach. Hire a fucking mentor. Albert's always fucking coaching and mentoring people. Hire Albert's ass. Find someone who has what it is that you want. Don't pay for someone that doesn't have what you want. People always say, how do I know who to hire? Do they have what you want? Because if they are not where you want to be, what the fuck do you think they know any more than you do? Okay? You got to find someone that knows what they're doing, because that's what I want. Hey, and by the way, if that person doesn't want to help you or educate you or mentor you or coach you, go to the next person. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna basically tell you, last but not least, make sure you guys realize that there's gratitude, okay, in the world. Gratitude is what matters the most. I wake up every morning and I smile. My wife thinks I'm crazy because when I wake up, I've trained my brain to realize that today is worth more than anything. Some of you guys that know me have heard me say, if I gave you $1 million, would you be pumped up? Everyone's like, fuck yeah, like you wouldn't be able to shit in my Wheaties. I'd be happy about it. For $1 million, you'd be fired up, stoked up, happy as hell. They go, yes, man, frickin', you could do anything. You can kick me in my balls, I don't care. And I say, well, if I gave you $1 million, but you couldn't wake up tomorrow, would you do that? They go, of course not. So you value waking up more than $1 million. Well, yeah, more than 10 million. I mean, actually ask yourself that question. How much do you value waking up? If you think about it, it's invaluable. I could probably say I'll give you $10 million and you wouldn't do it. Except for the dipshit that goes, oh, as long as my family gets it, I'll sacrifice. Dude, I always get some dumbass that says that. It's like, you dumb motherfucker. This is the problem. That's a mindset problem. You think your fucking family's better off with 10 million than you? You need to raise the fucking value you have for yourself. So I wake up every morning tricking my brain, and I trick it into believing that fucking today is more valuable than anything I could possibly do during the day, right? It's more valuable than anything I could try to acquire. So the gift is actually just waking up, is it not? And didn't we all wake up this morning? So we all got something worth more than $1 million, but did we all wake up with fucking energy? Did we all wake up feeling as if someone just handed us $10 million cash? No. Tell the truth. Ask yourself. Don't lie to me. Ask yourself, did you? No. Why? Because you don't appreciate it. Because your perspective's fucked up. So shift your perspective to gratitude. Realize that just waking up is worth more than anything you're after, folks. There's something to that I think gives me the advantage. It's unbelievable, and sometimes we forget. I'll tell you the last story. So I'm flying to a keynote in Dallas. For some reason, I'm at 25,000 feet up in the air, getting ready to land maybe 20, 30 minutes out, and my phone rings. This is only like a month ago. My phone rings, and I see it's my daughter. She's 8 years old. Her name's Kendall. So Kendall's calling me, and I'm like, what's up? So I scroll the phone open, because I'm a rebel. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't supposed to be on it. I own that plane. Okay? So I scrolled that motherfucker open like I'm badass, and I said, "What's up, honey?" And she was crying like I've never seen on her face before. And she said, all she said to me, "Chloe was in the pool." And keep in mind, there's a little girl crying. She goes, "Chloe was in the pool." And then the phone dies. Now, Chloe is my 20-month-old. And I'm like, holy shit, my stomach falls out of my asshole. I was like, I started shaking. I didn't know what to do. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to text my wife, and I'm trying to call my wife, and there's no signal. So, like 5 minutes later, boom, phone rings. It's my wife. I scroll it open. Boom, there's my wife. Never seen her, this ghost white, crying like you've never seen anyone cry in your life. And she said, "Chloe was in the pool." Boom, phone dies. Or it doesn't die, it shuts off because I'm still in the air. I don't even know how the fucking calls came through. And I'm freaking out now. And I land, and I call, and I say, "What the hell's going on?" And my wife picked up the phone. She said, "Brad, Chloe was in the pool." And I heard her crying. And I'm like, "What's the problem?" I hear her crying. My wife said, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "She's alive?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Then what the fuck you crying about?" I said, "What the fuck you crying about? You kidding me? Holy shit, you had me scared." She said, "Brad, I saw her. She was like a foot underneath with her eyes wide open and her face was blue. She was gone. I thought she was dead. But she wasn't. Don't you see? Like she's focused on what could have been. I'm fucking elated because she's alive." And also that, yeah. It's perspective, folks. It's perspective. So believe it or not, every single person in this room listening right now, from the fucking crew in the back, by the way, give it up for the crew. But every person in this room already has more than you think you do. If all you do is shift your perspective to gratitude, your fucking life improved. Right now. Fuck 2024. It's already going to be a great year, isn't it?
All the influencers now, I mean, Jake Paul is in my, Logan Paul is in my SMMA program, my social media marketing agency. That one was super successful in terms of, I always say, I'll go head to head with any university or even any program in the last 100 years of what simple system took more people from rags